Hello, hello, everyone.
Hey, Lyndsey.
I was getting ready to say, how far along are you?
21 weeks tomorrow. How about you?
28, I think.
You're doing October, right?
Yes, very beginning of October. Hopefully my birthday.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you and a little girl.
I know, so excited for all the pink. Just getting ourselves ready for it.
The best of both worlds.
Yes, I know, I'm excited. I had to put little man down early tonight. My mom, everyone's getting ready for the retreat, so I'm gonna hop on. Oh, hi, Lex. Just getting ready to write a schedule for you. But my mom and all the MVPs, I don't even know if Sherry will be able to be on. I don't even think they'll be able to pop on. They're doing their MVP portion tonight for the Legacy Leadership retreat that we have starting tomorrow night, and for them, the MVPs tonight. So my mom said, hey, would you be willing to run the call? And I said, of course, absolutely. And we can go ahead and get started since it's 7:32. I know more people are popping on, but just some quick announcements that I know she did want me, and I feel like it'll be helpful because I know there's been a lot of chatter, and bless her heart, I don't know how she's going to go back and like filter and figure out. But could you guys write in the chats for me? I know like Kathy Callahan has responded, but who is attending the Lifer retreat? August 3rd. It's that one day, Saturday, August 3rd retreat. Lex, yes. Who, write in the chats if you are attending, and it's more so out of town because we're going to do dinner afterwards. So if you would let us know you're A, in for dinner, and B, going to stay the night at my mom's house if y'all are driving in, will you please type that in, and I'll try to write it down for her because I think it'll just be hard for her to go back and find it after the chat. So if y'all will write in your Lifer retreat attendance, like, yes, I'm going to be there. Yes, we're going to stay for dinner. That would be super helpful for her. And then also I know just because, not coming off the Lifer retreat, but speaking of the Lifer retreat, it's sold out. So make sure you're a part of that Facebook group if you want to scalp tickets if you don't have one. But then following up on that is Impact. And you guys, Dallas Impact is going to sell out just like the Lifer retreat sold out. And like Krista, you girls, I don't know if there's a closer Impact for you guys. Maybe Chicago. I'm not sure. But okay. But for either one of you, I mean, I don't know who's speaking specifically at Chicago, but I know we've got Cecilia, Peyton Schreibner, and so Dallas Impact will sell out, and Early Bird ends the end of July. So be sure that you are registered for Impact, Chicago or Dallas. You'll get that cool little candle, and I'm sure it smells delicious. But also, it's going to be, I mean, it's the next biggest thing to GTC. And that's the whole point of them putting them out, assuming you didn't have a leader that connected you to the retreats, like the ones that we have coming up this weekend, or you weren't blessed enough to be able to be a part of the Lifer retreat. Impact is a mini GTC, and they work hard, just like they work hard to create and plan GTC events. Impacts are put together with that much effort. So make sure you register. They will build your belief in a huge, huge way. And like I felt like at GTC, and I know my mom has said this, it was one language, like for the first time in a long time. And even in the history that I've been a part of Arbonne and can comprehend like the business side of it and what's really going on, we are all speaking a pretty universal language in Arbonne. And that is so, so cool to be a united front, not only as a nation, joining multiple nations within our nation, but then as a company speaking that language. So it's going to be basic consultant training. But like I said, we have Peyton Schreibner and Cecilia Stoll and Carlita Nelson, ours truly. So rich in training and really just a non-negotiable event. And you don't have to stay the night. You can drive up and back. We'll figure out carpools, things like that. So those were the two big announcements that I want to just keep telling people. If you haven't registered. And then if you can put in your attendance, or if you know your team's attendance. help my mom out with that, or text me privately and I can write it down, or message me in the messenger privately, just because I feel like I should help her on that because, you know, bless her heart, she gets going in so many directions. We love her. But you guys share what's going on, what's happening, good news. Anybody struggling with something? I know that I'll just go ahead with some people that I've talked to, newer people, like they are signed up to be consultants and maybe they had amazing intentions, but then they were going to say, okay, we'll start July 1st. And July 1st has come and gone and really not much has happened. Checking in with them. And what I have heard them say is, I'm getting hard no's. Like the people that I'm reaching out to are just real quick shutting me down saying no. And so what I have said to these people is, number one, if you're not putting a screenshot of your messages in the messenger, I hope you're blowing up your upline area or region or nation, preferably probably your region, because your nations are probably busy just in general, but especially this week. But if you're not blowing up their phone, I don't think it's fair for you to say, I'm getting emphatic no's, because new or seasoned, no matter what. I mean, I know Sherry Nichols, the queen of, Carlita said, if I get 3 no's, call her back. And that's the same today. If you get more than 3 no's or 2 no's in a row, you should be blowing up our phones and saying, okay, this is what I'm saying. What would you say back? Because I'm hitting no. And I woke up this morning at like 4:00 and was just thinking on that. And number one, like, that's me being your friend, being your coach, and saying that's not fair because you haven't hit me up enough to let me help you learn that skill, because that is a huge skill and it's a huge scare, and it's real when you're in Arbonne to hear the words NO, and it shuts you down. But like we've heard in our books, you can't let your momentum be killed that fast, or, shot down that fast, because if you don't build tough skin and that skill to help people work around their obstacles, it is going to be a long journey in Arbonne. So what I was thinking this morning, I even wrote it in my notes, and you can add to it, you can tweak it, but what I still say today as a regional vice president, when people tell me just flat out no, I always say, thank you so much. I always appreciate, you getting back to me, you being honest. But I have one more question for you. What makes you say no? Or, there's the Eric Worre approach. Oh my gosh, something must have happened to you. Tell me what happened. Like, what experience have you had that makes you like, absolutely not? And that's when people will tell you something that's not true, or a hesitation, a fear, a disbelief they have about network marketing, Arbonne, et cetera, et cetera. And that's whenever you can be their consultant. Until you know why they say no, you can't help consult them. And what I was thinking, because I have a few people that I've been reaching out to lately, you guys that are not responding to me, and it doesn't hurt my feelings, but what I am going to say, because I always say, add a little cute to it. You can be sassy, in a sweet way. I'm like, some of the messages I sent today are, I have not forgotten you. I will not let you be forgotten. You cannot tell me no yet until you have heard Arbonne from me. Because until you've heard it from me, you don't even know what Arbonne is. Call me whenever you get this, or text me whenever you get this. Like, if you have that relationship with people, you can be that kind of in their face, but sweet about it, but truth telling. I mean, that's the truth. You cannot tell me no until you have heard Arbonne from me. So those are just some things that I've heard recently and we're going to hear, we could talk about that each week. I hear no. I'm hearing no. People are just saying no to me. Ask them if you can ask one more question and say, thank you so much. I'm new. I'm learning. I appreciate your quick response. I appreciate your truth, but can you tell me why not? I just want to learn. And then that's whenever you're screenshotting and sending it to Krista or myself, or, your area manager or your regional vice president, and saying, help, what do I say back? And that's whenever we can help you work around that. And like I always tell my team, it's not rocket science. You will get the hang of each message and save the messages, or go back and reference the messages that I've helped you on, and you'll start seeing the trend line and how you help people around their obstacles. So that's what I had to share. If you guys have anything to share, please feel free. I'll mute and let you guys speak.
Hey, Lyndsey, that was awesome. I mean, that even helped me with a few of my I love that ending. And I'm all about Eric Worre. I love all his verbiage. And you guys, something that I say, but I like Lyndsey's even more because it opens up a question at the end. But I always say, oh, when they say, oh, not interested, oh, that's totally okay if you're not interested in the business, but would you be open to learning more about the products? But I like Lyndsey's even better because it, like, oh my goodness, did you have a bad experience? Like, that is so good. Then it opens it up. Or what's your story? What happened? Why are you not interested? And you can do it in a very sweet and kind way. I love that. You're so sweet, Lyndsey. You paint everything sweet. I love it. So good.
Anybody else? I see so many people that I want to just be like, hi. The 30 and 30 challenge, my mom put that out, Eric Worre. We still have a lot of July left. There are still a ton of time to be contacting like those consultants that are kind of just like, well, I'll start in July and nothing's happened yet. There's still enough days, enough hours, enough minutes in this month to say U plus 10 to help them become a district manager with the lowered qualifications. I'm trying to think. I mean, these are all the things of just things that I'm thinking on all day long. And people, if I think about them, I write them down, send a message right then. So, yeah.
I missed that, Lyndsey. When did we start the 30 and 30? I wanted to be a part of that and I missed it.
She put it out with the Eric Worre when she posted those videos, I think the end of June or maybe like the very 1st of July. She posted those 3 Eric Worre videos.
Yeah, I remember that. I just missed the message.
Yeah. And she didn't like necessarily like put a challenge to it. She just said like do a 30 and 30. And so like I wrote 30 and 30 challenge on my refrigerator calendar just to like keep it in the forefront and present. So it's just like you were saying, like that's what I did when I went region, you know, or 90 days out from going region, and that's what I still am doing today to get the momentum and things like that. So anybody
else? Guys, something else that, you know, when you do those challenges, I'm telling you, you may only, and Eric Worre says this, you may only have to do that intense of activity once, maybe twice in your whole entire business career because the momentum just will carry you.
Right. And I will say I have been trying to be very mindful of Anik's challenge to us. I think last week or 2 weeks ago, I think it was last week, where she said power hour. And it can be, you know, Emily Martin suggested power hour in 15-minute increments. Or like my new thing is, doesn't matter what my house looks like, soon as I put my son down for his first morning nap, which is always at least a solid 1.5 to 3.5 hours, power hour. And you feel so good about it. And I love what she said. You could wake up like this morning when I could not sleep at 4:30. I literally could have had my power hour from 4:30 to 5:30. And she said, it doesn't matter. It's not like anyone picks up the phone anymore. You can send messages, and when people wake up and get to them, they'll get to them. Or if it's 9:30, 10:30 at night, you can send messages. It's fine. People will either, you know, have their phone off or ignore it or respond back to you. It's no big deal. And really trying to be mindful of 6 days a week. Like Anik said, do it for 90 days. And see what you're doing. And this just follows up with what you were saying, Krista, is you most likely and usually only have to do that about one time. And then you can keep that ball and that momentum rolling from then on out in your business, especially with the events that we have coming up. You know, I mean, we can't necessarily invite people to them because they're kind of selling out, but you can use them selfishly and let them add to the momentum that you have created. Roll into these mini GTCs, because we have 3 GTCs coming up if you're coming to the Legacy Retreat, Life Retreat, and Impact. Those are huge events. So, and I hate to end it so soon. I'm not as long-winded as my mom. I really can't breathe and talk to y'all. It's uncomfortable, but come on, somebody else share. Wins, losses, what are people doing? Oh, okay. I'm going to go ahead and say it. It's not really allowed. It's kind of like, it's legally kind of frowned upon. Everyone to destroy the compensation plan as is. You know, those are the numbers based upon the effort.
Hey, Lyndsey, You're really muffled. Something happened.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, maybe a little better. Start over. No.
No. Okay. How about now?
A little bit better.
A little bit better? Okay. I haven't moved, but if those of you that follow Jill Lyons, so if you don't follow Jill Lyons, y'all should. She's in your face. She is bold. She is unapologetic. She is, like what Eric Worre says, attracts success. Like success flocks to this woman. And I saw it on one of her Instagram stories yesterday, and I immediately called my husband and my brother, who were driving in the truck, same work truck together, down to Houston, Texas. And I said, can I please share something with you guys? I first called my mom and was like, holy Toledo. She shared her paychecks. And over the 2 years that she's been a part of Arbonne, she shared her May paychecks. And if I were you, I would write this down. I would write it on my mirror. I would do something, because this woman, not only are we going to be blessed enough to hear her speak and train at our AMVP retreat, but she has personally promoted, I think, 25 district managers this year. If not in 1 month. I could be getting like the time frame of that wrong. Anyways, her business is so wide. Her business is so personal because she is in a mega activity. And I was telling this to my mom last night when she was eating dinner with Tammy Clinton and Shelly Nelson. And Shelly Nelson said, I really think Jill Lyons still has a personal goal of doing 10 parties, virtual or in person, a week as a national vice president with 3 regional vice presidents underneath her. Like still just bust and chop and not stopping. So she shared her paychecks. Let's get to the good juicy part. May 2017, $97. She said that month we didn't have to dip into our savings because we made $97. And May 2018, she said $8,200 was her paycheck. May 2019, you guys, $41,000 was her paycheck. That is wild. She went from area manager last year to MVP by the end of the year. And all based on hard work. I mean, like, she's one of our own. She's family. It's not like this is some like crazy Instagram story. Like, she just worked so hard and did not quit. She had a baby. Yes, Deanna, she had a sweet little baby, and she worked this business in the nooks and crannies. She did live, she did in-persons, and in 2 years has gone from a $97 paycheck to a $41,000 paycheck. Yes, Caitlin Smith, she is a hustler. So that was like, wow to me. And of course, I mean, those are huge paychecks. 41,000 is a huge paycheck, and that's probably because it is so personal to her. But I just thought that was so cool. And I called my husband and my brother, and I said, can I please just share some vision with y'all and whatever other worker y'all have in the back of your truck? Like, please listen to what can happen in Arbonne. So I wanted to share that with you guys, and I think she's going to share it at our retreat. And legally, you're not supposed to do that. But I was just blown away at those numbers and thought, that's awesome. So, maybe next week we'll be able to share some of the nuggets and tidbits that she shares with us, because she's one of the trainings that I go back and listen to from whenever she spoke, her and Payne Schreibner, when they spoke on our Wednesday night Power Zooms. I love those recordings. So, anybody else? Because if not, I can let y'all go.
That's wow. Thanks for sharing, Lyndsey.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I really appreciate you shared that too. Thank you. It's funny because whenever somebody posts their paychecks, it's kind of like and you're almost embarrassed to see it. But you know what? It is vision, and that is real, and that's what we can do. And I love that she is doing what we're supposed to do, which is to take care of our own personal business. I mean, obviously, I've been really just trying to get a handle on this myself. It's like, yeah, we want to empower people to grow and promote, but we also have to keep finding those new preferred clients, those new people to help and build as well. So I love it. I will share a really fun win. I did an event, and there some teams that are out here in California are doing it. It's called Wine and Wonder, and it's basically a DA. And so come have a glass of wine if you've ever, wondered about what Arbonne's business is about. And I did it I tweaked the invite a little bit more, and I just said, if you're wondering what the heck's going on with Arbonne, we're booming, we're launching new products, come and check it out. And so what it is we handed out questions for people to ask us, a panel, and it was business specific, and it was a super casual, super just very informative. And then after we were done, people came and looked at the different products if they were brand new to Arbonne. I had 5 guests there, and 4 of them signed up as consultants.
Awesome. Share that.
Yeah.
That's cute. I like that. Wine and Wonder.
Yeah. So anyway, just, we're always talking about just new activities and events, and we have to work every part that we can. Right. I mean, it was funny, one of the questions, because my girlfriend who's on another team did the panel with me, and the first question was, do you have to do parties to be a consultant? And her answer was yes. I really think that you do. And then it was cool, because then I chimed in and I said, well, I'm going to give you the rebuttal on that, because there's so many different ways that you can do Arbonne now, that if you're in a season of your life that you can't leave the house to actually do a party, there's other ways to do it, and it's about mastering whatever you're doing. So right. I mean, I think about how I want to get better and better and better at Facebook Lives and Zooms and all of these other things, but we have to just continue to evaluate and look at what's working and not working, keep tweaking things. But it is about trying to do as many things as we possibly can, and that's what I got from Jill Lyons, is right. that she is doing everything.
Right. Everything. Yes. You're absolutely.
So by the way, I'm in Oklahoma right now.
Ah, how fun. Welcome.
Thank you.
It's going to be a heat stroke for everyone coming, but it's going to be such a fun time. But last but not least, I do want to share one other thing, because I feel like it's just been such a bold message. Emily Rittenberg on Putting Hickenbotham's team sent me like a little podcast about a guy, and he was basically saying how he delivered a senior class speech, and he said it's the same message, but it just kind of hit me differently. And the key bullet point was, you have to keep growing past high school. And we all know that. And I feel like that was what kind of stuck out to me with the Eric Worre message, is leaders are readers. And how Eric Worre talked about in his video, which was huge, and I think I still even have it written down in this notebook, it's perspective. He said, for things to change, you have to change. It's self-responsibility. Like, we can't keep waiting for life to just poof, magically change and, our situation be different. If we want something different, it's our responsibility to make that different. And he said, I share that with prospects. And that's something that you could end, a take a look with, or we have those questions, where do you see yourself in 5 years? But you could ask people, if you want things to change, you must change. So what are you doing in your life today to make sure that tomorrow is different, or that next month is different, or that next year is different? And he said, success is something that you attract. And the third point that he had on this little video is, formal education makes you a living. Self-education makes you a fortune. Personal development is what keeps you growing, not dying. And it's truly just a switch of a mindset that you're doing this to change you. And I don't know if that sounds repetitive or not really as bold as it has been to me, but every message, every podcast, every leadership training that I hear is all about, what are you reading? What personal development book are you reading? Were you all on the book club calls? And I know if you were, my mom drove that home, but we had this week off. So what are you picking up the new book? Are you starting that? What podcasts are you listening to? All day long, just be filling yourself with Arbonne, because it can't hurt. I mean, if you're in this and you're going to be spending your time on these Wednesday calls and these trainings, pour into yourself. And if you can't read, then put on a podcast. I'm not really a great podcast person because I get sidetracked and I start thinking 100 different things. I'm realizing about myself, like for the leadership retreat, I'm bringing a pad and pencil. And I may be slower in my handmade cramp because I haven't written since high school, but I retain so much more when I write things down or whenever I can take notes. So figure out what works for you, if that's reading or podcast, but pour into yourself. And do it more than just on Saturday morning. Like find someone, follow them, pick up a book and read 10 pages a morning, not out of like drudgery or like obligation because you feel like your leader is telling you to, but because you want to be different. You want to be better. So that has been another bold message for me lately, I feel like is what I've heard. Like read, grow. And that's what you hear from these Jill Lyons, these Peyton Schreibners, Carlita Nelson. I mean, all our leaders in Arbonne is, what did you do to grow past you? Because you have gotten you this far. So we need to update that, like our iPhones let us know you have an update. We need to update ourselves if we want something different and better. So that's it. That's all I had to share. And I love you all. I can't wait to see like half of this group in Oklahoma in just a few hours. And if you guys have anything, again, I'm going to count the attendance, but then message me or text me, please, because I haven't been keeping up with it. But the Lifer attendance and dinner, if you're planning on eating and staying, so that I can help my mom out so that she doesn't have to be super overwhelmed with that. So I love you all, and I will talk to you guys in a couple days or see you guys next week or on our call at 8:30.
Thanks, Lyndsey.
Bye, Krista.
Thanks, Lyndsey. Thank you.